Welcome to Crimson Guitars. Welcome to another episode of this build. This guitar is my obsession currently. Now we've got, it is being built out of a piece of wood that has been carbon dated to 42,000 years old, give or take 800 years. So we've taken a standard Fender Acoustasonic type instrument and we are trying to improve on that and make it cool. The neck is now nice and stable because this wood is very, very soft and moved quite a lot. Check this out. I mean, there are no straight lines in this at all. And that's what the neck wanted to do, but we ended up with this, which is level and straight and stable and flat and perfect. What I now need to do is make a fretboard that is actually hard enough to deal with the trials and travails of being a fretboard on a guitar. I'm going to take a piece of material off the top of this and we are going to shove it in a vacuum with Cactus Juice to stabilize it. Burn it. Perfect! Here we've got a vacuum pump, a bunch of Cactus Juice stabilizing resin. I'm going to move slower so I don't make you guys poorly again. Here is my section of Kauri, and I've also got a few bog oak fretboards. Now we haven't carbon dated these, but they lived in the bottom of a bog for a hell of a long time. They are very hard already, but there are a few cracks and crevices and things that I want to stabilize. These chunks of wood are actually for my next Kauri based build, which is going to be a 335/Hofner very thin instrument, but with a bog oak fretboard. Now I'm doing all of this with Sam, who is Director of Operations at Crimson HQ. Or should I see, what do we want to call it? GCHQ? Haha, not GCHQ, CGHQ. I'm going to get that right. Okay, so this is not something we do very often. Shuffle on over. Oh, there we go. But it is something we want to do a little bit more. So Cactus Juice, this is a very thin, it's a water thin resin. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're pulling all of the air out of the wood and replacing it with Cactus Juice. You then cook it. Yeah. You then take it out of the oven, put it back in here, and do the same thing again until the bubbles stop.
Well, yeah.
Hold it down till the bubbles stop coming.
Yeah. If it's porous and it likes to get in there.
Now, our box here doesn't have integral bolts or something to hold it together, so we're going to have to clamp it down, which is fine. Hardens punky softwood. This is not sponsored by Cactus Juice in any way, it's just the stuff that you're supposed to use. Activate Cactus Juice per instructions on small bottle. I want to read the instructions on the big bottle, damn it. I'm just going handheld. Sam's going to do all the work and I'm going to take all the credit. Well, that's foamy. It's a powder.
It's a paste.
A paste.
You've got to shake really well before you put it in.
Sam's already had to change gloves because even though he tightened the cap up, he's already covered in resin. It's just, I'm happy on this side of the camera, which isn't always the case. Okay, so you're just going to pour enough in to cover the wood. Anything more than that isn't going to be required. I suppose, well, the vacuum will pull some out, so you want to be...
Yeah.
Account for how much might get pulled into the full volume of the timber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to go over.
Whoop, I'm standing back. So even without a vacuum in there, this Kauri is already bubbling up. Come on, focus, please. And this just shows how much, well, how light and gappy this Kauri timber is, whereas our bog oak genuinely probably doesn't even need to be in here. It's hard enough as it is. We put a vacuum on, pull out all of the air, time how long that takes, and leave it submerged under vacuum.
Yeah. So you release. Hold on. I think you release the vacuum. Yeah, release the vacuum and then let it soak.
Okay, and then let it soak for twice as long as the vacuum was on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So there's not actually as much in this as I originally thought.
This.
So is this your release?
Yeah, that's your release valve.
Okay.
And then when that's closed, it's pulling the vacuum.
We should have dusted this off before filming, but you know what? This is a workshop. Ooh. Yeah. Push. Alrighty, well. Oh, blessed silence. So what we're looking for here is to see if anything else pops up.
Yeah, so we'll go and leave it now for half an hour.
And then we cook it.
We can see that the level has gone down of the resin because we were fully covered at that.
It's been half an hour. We're going to chuck this. I'm doing no work here right now. Sam is going to chuck this in the oven at, is it 96 degrees?
93.
93 degrees. So you've got these sheets of aluminium just to place them on. You have not got gloves on, my friend. Whoa, there we go.
A super glove.
A super glove.
Just because, yeah. It's just on the tighter side, that lid. Ooh, that smell.
God, that Kauri's pretty.
Yeah.
Kauri, I think they call it actually. I need to pronounce it right. So being so thin, this isn't filling that large gap in the bog oak there. It's hard to film. But what it is doing is filling all of the capillaries, etc. Sorry, I'm enjoying the shot there. So yeah, we're all done. And this is going to be cooked for how long, Sam?
2 to 3 hours.
Cooking for 2 to 3 hours this time, and we'll crack on tomorrow and the day after and the day after, and we'll see what happens. Only a little bit of filling to do. And most of that's going to get carved away in any case later on, so. We're thinking about some sort of a scratch plate to essentially protect this soft wood. It's going to have a high gloss finish on there, but the musician here plays fairly hard, and well, we don't want to cover up the wood though. We're kind of thinking protecting it while also seeing the wood. I don't want to slap a great big piece of black plastic on the front of this guitar. We are thinking a relatively thin piece of maybe a clear acrylic or something like that. I'm going to do some drawing now and see. So the edges of this guitar are not going to be rounded over like a traditional guitar. I want to put a bevel on there, following here quite nicely. And I do need to just change the outline a little bit to tidy that up a bit. It's a bit thicker on this side than it is on the other, which is fine. So we're going to have a hard bevel in the top and back. Cut that off. And then on the inside, we could have a scratch plate that runs and follows on the inside. If we do that, we've got a clear scratch plate that, I don't know, could come up. We've got our volume control, tone, etc., switches, all of that somewhere here. That's very, very precise, actually. So I need to use a template to figure that out. So the controls here are connected directly to the PCB, and that's actually a design flaw, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Now with that, I can start designing scratch plates. If we cut the corner of the fretboard, so the neck goes up to there. You've got a cool corner just following the same line as the strings, and comes up here. A bit of a sine wave kind of thing going there. Even in clear acrylic, I don't like that. All right, so the other option is we scratch that and we have a fairly traditional but chunkier sort of jazz guitar style. Now this could be thicker and not actually attached to the guitar. And you've got a little bit of a line here following that. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. My other issue here is how this is going to be connected to the instrument. On a jazz guitar, you normally have a neck that goes much further back, and you're bolted into the end of the neck. I think it's going to end up being a clear acrylic thing mounted on 2 or maybe even 3 acrylic poles or something, which is, it could be cool, I suppose. Maybe even just the 2 here would be strong enough. Yeah, I've been mulling over this thought now for a week or so, and I just can't come up with something that I love completely off the bat. And at times like that, it really is about physically making something and seeing what it actually looks like on the guitar. And yeah, I think we can come up with something nice. Now, when you want a guitar to look as stunning as humanly possible, you don't just leave the F-hole unbound. You just don't. You put in the time, you've done the crime. If you don't yet have a set of the crimson sanding sticks, you're missing a trick. So I've got some of the veneer that made up this pinstripe as well. And we're going to chop it down so it's fairly thin and glue it in place. Now the issue is on this line, it's going to go all the way around there, and we've got a very, very tight curve. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be able to make that. And if we can't, then there is a much, much harder, more time-consuming, difficult, and crazy way of doing things. And of course, well, I'm kind of hoping that that's how I end up doing it. And that, of course, would be taking a solid chunk of ebony, cutting it out to fit exactly the F-hole, inlaying that in after cutting the hole out. So instead of bending a piece of material around, you glue in a solid piece. Shock the Fox, Ty has recently done that. Recently. It's something he does on a semi-regular basis because he's a masochist. Yeah. So just make this slightly bigger. Then I think I'll need, oh, that's not doing, come on, hold it down. There we go. So I've got a little bit of a tight curve going on there. Oh, that's actually falling away a little bit. Oh no, I lost it. That won't be the last thing dropped into this F-hole and fished out. Let's go over to the iron. Just put a little bit of a curve at the end there. And that's better. Okay, so it's actually nearing the end of the day. I'm going to glue this piece in and that piece in, and then do the rest of that tomorrow. Because I'm procrastinating. Find me in the comments. That'll just do nicely. So we're all prepared. Now the temptation is to use super glue or something like that, but the reality is that would potentially stain the outside in a way that I don't necessarily want right now. So yeah, when gluing wood to wood, really just always use wood glue. It says it in the name. Turns out my left-hand little finger isn't quite as confident as my right. It didn't think it could do that, but hey. Nice. Okay, next day, and I've had some thoughts. This is a little bit too pointy. I just think that that's just a little bit of a smaller thing going on there. Maybe what we need. But I genuinely don't know. I'm still struggling with this. Anyway, on with binding. Oh, I don't know. Damn it. On with this binding. It's cured. And we're going to get to the difficult bit now. Yes, I probably should have done this before gluing the top in. But I hadn't realised I wanted to. So there we go. Now, on top of making this look very attractive, having this binding all the way around here is just going to make this very delicate little corner far stronger. Now, I don't know which way the grain is going in this veneer, but this feels right. So that's going to follow all the way around to about there. So this is the fun bit. I've got a standard bending iron onto which I've attached a thinner pipe, and that's not even the correct diameter for these beautiful little delicate F-hole ends. So I've also, while this has been heating up, left a screwdriver in there because, hey, why not? So it's just a case of wetting the veneer. And I'm going to use this sanding block to push it against the iron. And you can go several ways. You can sort of push against and do bits and pieces, keep on wetting it. But yeah, I'm wondering about whether I can use this. And I can. Nice. That got messier than I was hoping it would be, but you know what? It's fine. So I'm using the pencil to burnish it down, close up any gaps, and yeah. That should all be good now. Got to be careful to leave it just a little bit high. Lunch has been had. I am replete. Let's see just how well this has worked. Okay, so there's still a little bit of glue on the outside that hasn't cured yet. But where it was under pressure and tension, it's all done and dusted. So I think this is a success. I'm not sure if I want to square off the ends or leave them pointy. And here we go. Very subtle. Very, very subtle. Can you even see it? A little bit. There you go. Absolutely worth doing. Still some tidying up to do. I'm still not certain about these points here. I think it could look quite nice with a fairly chunky cut-off. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Was this worth doing? I mean, from my point of view, it was certainly enjoyable. Yeah, in the next episode, we're going to be working on the neck. We're going to get the truss rod installed, the stiffening rods, etc. We're going to see what's happened to the fretboard. We are going to route a neck pocket. That's the last thing on this very insubstantial feeling body that needs to be done. And some beveling and then sanding and getting ready for the finishing process. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, share it with all of your friends. And most importantly, let me know what you think about the F-hole binding, but also this scratch plate conundrum. What do you think I should do on that? See you guys soon. Don't forget, greatguitargiveaway.com at the moment has got all of the GGBO 2022 invitational and professional guitars on there. You could win some epic guitars for the low price of £3 a ticket, and at the same time support charity. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to go and turn these heaters up even more. It is now the end of the day and I'm still cold. It's just not good enough. See you soon. Goodbye.